it's the only thing that knocks that fog out.
Yeah.
You know, like once you get a sweat going, you're like, oh, I'm alert.
The best about that.
Yeah, I want to be alert.
Everywhere we go, partying or work, he always goes to the gym. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck you, dude.
I mean, but I do it. Not
but
even,
did that help you now? Like, can you still feel like shit if you just
If I hadn't-
generally feel like shit?
if I hadn't worked out, I just would have showed up today, kind of like,
yeah,
you know. And
yeah.
instead, like, I actually showed up, like,
You're
what's
alive.
up?
Yeah.
Like, I'm
Yeah,
ready
yeah,
for
yeah.
the day.
I always make sure to like do something like 20 minutes, half hour before the show.
I love it.
Like not 20, like do 20 minutes, half hour of working out before, an hour and a half before the show, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But just because like that may be a little more clear on stage.
Yeah.
And
I
it
feel
must
more
be
alert.
so funny listening to us sit here and say this and like just like health people being like, we've been telling you this
Yeah,
for
of course.
fucking hundreds of
not a secret.
None of it is. It's never a
And then
secret.
people are like, do you hear what Tom and John said on the podcast? Like, working out helps them.
Like when you were,
Also, when I eat bad food, I feel shitty. Yeah.
but when you were doing that, were you like, fuck, I wish I was a person who's in shape and I ate right and I just like can't, or were you just kind of like, I don't give a fuck? Because I feel like the injury was the big like catalyst for you to.
Yeah, it was a
right?
big cat for sure.
But like, so if that didn't happen, do you think you would have like reached a point, or you would have just been like, I'm gonna do this forever until I die?
I just would have been like,
Yeah.
well, because he wouldn't have known.
Right.
Like, I
There's no
mean,
reason to
you
stop.
know, in the sense that you're saying, we're like, of course, people tell you like eat well and work out.
Yeah.
Like, you know, in that sense.
Right.
But I think you get into like a comfort about like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Like, this is just how I
Yeah, it's like your life is
operate.
good.
Yeah.
Your family,
I live
your
on this
job.
level.
Sure.
But no, it's good in that sense, in that it kind of something like that can wake you up. It's also, I found out, very, very common for people that have like traumatic injuries or orthopedic injuries to have like major shifts in that
Turnaround,
regard.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's very, very common where like people go through that and then they're like, "Fuck," and it just like
Yeah, it's a rock
affects
bottom
them in a
type
way.
thing,
Yeah, yeah.
By the way, not talked enough about that. You know, I like in the special Sledgehammer. Everybody go watch it. You say, you know, you like very jokingly, like I hurt myself in a slam dunk contest.
Yeah.
But my man was throwing down on almost a 10-foot hoop
I mean, look,
at a high.
I told somebody this yesterday. He was like, "Oh shit!" I go, "Look, I dunked clean on 9, and I was 250.
That's
250
fucking-
pounds,
I mean,
50?
and I was 42, so I was not like
Yeah.
a young guy.
bro, just being able to dunk like at
Wait,
all
dunking
in
clean
life.
at 9 at
On 9 at
42.
42, it's like
That's-
it's not. Look, people are gonna be like,
But it is though.
it's. Listen, if you don't have like some people are. I went to college with a dude. I didn't even know this was possible. That had like a fucking like a normal white guy with a crazy vertical. I'd never really seen
Yeah.
it. And he was like, he was goofy. Like he had a goofy, he was like, I can dunk. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. And he was like, come over. And we went to the gym in North Carolina. I was like, okay, dipshit.
Well, let's
let's
see
see it. And he did a 360. I was like, and he had a big dick too. I don't know if this he did. I saw it. But I was like, what? And
that dude has probably done that in his life 1,000 times,
Yeah.
and it feels good every single time.
and he did and when he told me to, he goes, I can dunk. And I was like, sure.
Good thing, pal.
He was like 6'1".
That's crazy.
And he just like, he didn't do it. It wasn't like flashy. He just like went up and he just went whoop and I was like, no.
There's something about in the game we play Answer the Internet. One of the questions I think is, would you give up sex to be able to dunk? And I'm always like, I don't know, man. It's pretty cool to dunk. There's
so
something about,
cool.
especially as a white guy, if you can just show up to a park and everybody looks at you and goes, and then you can bang one. It's like,
I mean,
That's
in
cool.
high school, I saw a guy do it that I was like, oh my God, where not white. He did the cup. He had it cupped and went
Dr.
on the
J that
side,
shit,
and I was
yeah.
like,
yeah, it literally brings the house down.
it does.
you
It is.
know?
It's an oh my God
Yeah.
moment.
And
One
you
of
can
my
just do
clearest
that.
high school memories is we were just like in the gym playing basketball, and the janitor walked in, didn't say anything to anybody, grabbed the ball off the rack, dunked it, and walked out. And we were
And
like,
that sticks with
we
you
were all
20
like,
years later.
I remember that more than 99% of the classes. We were all like, what the fuck was that? Stop playing. You stop playing. We're like,
It's so cool.
we have our memory for the day.
And
Like, we're done.
going back like to the truth is, I was pretty fired up that I had dunked on 9.
Totally.
I was like, I was,
And
and
you
then
just got a little cocky.
and
You
they
got
had
that over your skis on that
They
one.
got a little bit. There was bets that I couldn't at my
I'm
office.
sure.
So they're
So
like,
winning,
and
fuck
so
you guys.
As soon as
Yeah.
I dunked, I was like, yeah,
And then would you go like 9.5?
9-3,
9.3.
9-3. But also not because I was like, I can do that. Like the reason we raised it to 9-3 was somebody else in the gym was like, I think you can do a little higher.
So
That's like the
fuck
whole
that guy.
story. The whole story is that he goes.
But honestly, like
Yeah.
knowing how much it turned you around, I'm not going to say it goes far to say like,
No,
would you?
It is. It's one of those
would
things
you
where it's like the
prefer it to
worst
happen? Yeah.
thing and the best thing that could have happened.
Yeah.
It was horrible, but yeah, I wouldn't change it. You know?
Right.
I wouldn't want to experience it again.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't change
Did
it.
you? We have like a vibe here now that we've reached where when bad things happen,
Yeah.
part of me goes like we're gonna talk about this on the podcast. It's gonna be material. It's gonna be just a thing. Do you have that?
Yeah, of
For
course.
something as extreme as that.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the reasons why it's good to
get the camera out.
to go do things. What we're saying, like,
Yeah.
if you just stay in your room, what happens is you just talk about your room. You know, like if you do other things, what happens is you're actually engaging in life, and then
Yeah,
you
'cause
talk about that.
I know it's like it's not even the thing that you went to do. It's like, who cares that I went to the bar? But on the way to the bar,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
crazy thing happened on the street, and blah blah
That's
blah.
all that. Yeah.